Hello everyone, myself Sowmya, Assistant Professor in CSE AIML Department, MLR Institute of Technology. So in this video, we are going to discuss about modules, AngularJS modules. So we have more concepts under this module. So that's why I'm dividing it into two different videos. So in this, we are going to discuss about mainly the basics of modules. So in this video, we are mainly focusing on what is a module, what are the advantages of module, how to create a module, and to make, if you want to make your module as a working model, then you need to use a controller. So how to add that controller, and with all these we will see one example application. So first of all, what is a module? So module is nothing but it is a container for the different parts of your application. So here we are writing different things. You're using division tag, you're making your application, AngularJS application. Then you're creating some modules, you're creating containers, you have services, you have directives, right? You have filters. So in AngularJS, we have so many things. So how to connect all these? We can connect all these things using the module concept. So what is the use of AngularJS module? It defines an application. The whole application can be defined using this AngularJS module. So it is a container which holds all these things and which connects all these things. So we know AngularJS apps, it doesn't have any main method. For example, if you consider C or Java, so we have main function. Along with that main function, we have so many other functions also. Like irrespective of the number of functions, the execution starts from main function only. So here we don't have any main method, but what indicates instead of modules declaratively specify how an application should be bootstrapped. That means from where the execution will start. So that can be decided by your module. So bootstrapping in the sense the way, the step, which one will be executed first, which one will be executed next, and so on. So that can be done using this module. Why? Because we don't have any main method here, but from where I need to execute, from where I need to start the execution. So what are the advantages? So the declarative process is easier to understand. So it is just like module in the sense it is like a reusable thing, like a function, right? So here whenever you made functions or modules, it is easier to understand. Of course, you can package the code as reusable module. So of course, you are not making packages here, but if you want to use your modules for the future reference, then you can make them as packages and you can use the modules in the future programs also. So the modules can be loaded in any order because modules delay execution. That means, for example, if you have 10 modules, in which order the module will be executed. So it may be in any order. So you can write in any order. So based on the given program, the execution will be decided. So how to create a module? So in the previous video, while discussing about the filters, I have a little bit focused on this module, right? So the same thing we are going to cover here, but in depth, right? So how we can create the module? So we can create a module in AngularJS using a method called angular.module. So angular.module is a method or function which will take two parameters. So the first parameter name is name of the module, module name, which is same as your ng app name. And coming to the next one, it is an array. So basically we are making this array as empty. Why? Because we don't have any dependencies. So dependencies in the sense we can extend the functionality of this module in the future. So for example, if you are writing this module for the first time, obviously this array will be empty. Why? Because I don't have any dependencies for that. But if you are extending this module for the second time or third time, then you need to add some dependencies. The previous dependencies you need to add. So there you can write the dependencies in this array. So whenever you write the statement, a space will be allocated for this module. So that location, that address you are storing in a variable called app. So where app is equal to angular.module, which takes two parameters. So if you are writing this module, if you are defining this module for the first time, the second parameter is always an empty array. So one example program for this module. So here we know this part, right? So if you want to use any AngularJS files, library files, then you need to include this. If I don't include that, then I cannot use any directives, filters of AngularJS features. So now here I am making a division for my AngularJS application. So here I am giving the app name. So ng app. So whenever you write ng app, what it indicates? It indicates the initiation, the starting point of your AngularJS application. So what is the name of the application? My app. So my app is the name of the application. So here what I'm doing, I'm just writing form input type is equal to text. For this I'm giving a model name. So I'm taking a text field. So that for that text field, I'm giving a name, model name, that as a name. So I just want to print this name as it is. How I can print the data in the AngularJS? Using this double curl braces. So within H1 tag, I just want to print the same name, the name which entered by the user. That's all. This is my task. And then I'm closing this division. Now what I'm doing here, I'm just creating a module for this. So how to create a module? Angular.module. The name of the module is my app, which is similar to your, same as your ng app. And the second parameter is empty array. Why? Because you're defining this module for the first time. And whatever the location it will give, that I'm storing in a variable called app. That's all. I'm closing the script. But what's the use of this module here? I'm not doing anything with this module. I have just created this module and the module name is my app. But I have not given any functionality for this. I have not given any working procedure for this. So that we can do using the container. So that we will discuss in the next few things. So what is the output I'll get here? So the output is one text field I'll get. Whatever you enter in that text field, the same thing will be displayed. See here, this is the text field. Whatever you display in the text field, the same thing will be displayed under the text field. But using this module, you're not doing anything here. Why? Because if you want to make your module as working, then you need to add some containers or directives for your program. So we'll see one example for this module. So we know this code is mandatory if you want to use any AngularJS libraries in your program. So here what I'm doing, I'm just creating a division for my AngularJS application. And for this, I'm giving a ng app name. That is the AngularJS application name. Now, in this, what I'm doing, I'm just creating a text field. And for this text field, I'm giving the name as name, the model name as name. So now I want to print the same name as the output. So within the H1, I want to print the same name. So whatever you're giving as ng model, the same thing I am displaying here. So if you want to display anything on the AngularJS, then you need to use this double curl braces. That's all. You're closing your division. So now I'm creating a module here. Within the script, you can create the module. How to create the module? Using angular.module. Then for this, you need to give the module name, which is same as your ng app name. And the second one is empty array. So whatever this module is returning, some address, that I'm storing in a variable called app. So now here simply you're declaring the module, but you're not defining, you're not telling how to, what is the working procedure of that module. So that's why there is no use of this module. Simply what is the output I will get, whatever you enter in this text field, the same thing I will get here. So this is the output I'll get here. So in the text field, whatever you enter, the same thing I will get. So this is the output. So here if you enter anything, the same thing I will get. Same thing I will get. So that module, like there is no use of creating a module in the previous program. There is no use of that. So now I need to give some working functionality for that module. How I can do that? I can use that. I can do that using controller. So what this app controller will do? It typically refers to the controller that's associated with the root module, the main module of your AngularJS application. So this controller is responsible for handling the logic and behavior of the entire application. Right? So whatever the module you are creating, how to work that. The working procedure can be controlled by using this controller only. So for this, what is the function you are using? You are using a controller function, again, which will expect two parameters. The first parameter is app controller. The name of the controller is app controller, and it should same as your attribute called ng controller. So previously we were giving only the ng app name for in the div tag for AngularJS, but whenever you use controller function in your program, you also need to include this ng controller along with the div tag, and that ng controller name should be same as your controller name. So this app controller, this name should match, and the second parameter is a function with one predefined parameter, that is scope. Actually, scope is a object which refers to your complete code, that is a AngularJS code. So whatever the application is there, whatever your application is there, so this object will refer to that application. So now whatever the things are there in that application, I can access them using this object. So you can write the code and you can close your inner function, this implicit function, and you can close your controller function and you can close this semicolon. So we'll see one example how the controller will work. So we know this is mandatory code for using the AngularJS libraries, and here while writing the division tag, if you observe, I am writing 2 attributes mandatorily. Till now, like till previous program, we used to write only the one attribute, that is ngapp, and ngapp name is miapp, ngController name is cost control. Now what I want to print here, I just want to print a variable name called price. So within curl braces, double curl braces, whatever you write, that will be printed as it is. But what is this price? Price is an unknown variable. I don't know this value. So from where I can get this value? I need to get this value from the module. So for that purpose, I need to create a module here. So that's all. You're closing the division. But here I have a thing. What is that? Price. Price is unknown variable that I need to get. How I can get that? By defining a module. How we can define the module? Using the script tag. So open the script tag. Here create a module using angular.module, the module name, and the second parameter is empty array. So if you observe, the module name is same as your ngapp name, and for this app I am applying the controller using app.controller, which will take 2 parameters here. The first one is cost control, the name of the controller name, which is same as your ngController, and the second one is function with 1 parameter $scope, which refers to your AngularJS application. Now in the AngularJS application, I have a variable called price. Now I want to access this value here. How I can access that value? Using this object. The object name is $scope dot the variable is price. So $scope dot price is equal to I am giving as 58. So whatever the value you are giving, the same thing will be sent back to the actual application. So what is the output I will get? I will simply get the price value as 58. So whatever you are giving through this module, through this controller, the same thing will be passed there. So that is the use of controller. See here, the controller, using this controller, you are controlling this module, how the module should work. The same thing you are telling using this controller. So if you observe the previous program, there is no use of that module. Why? Because simply we have declared that. But now for this app, for this module, I am applying the controller so that it is connecting to your AngularJS application and it is deciding how your AngularJS should work. So we'll see the output for this. So price is 58. So whatever you are giving in the module and container, the same thing will be reflected. So in this video, we have discussed what is a module, what are the different advantages of module, how to create a module, and how to control this module or how to make the module as working using controller. And we also seen some applications. Thank you.